Hi everyone, it's Mrs. O'Brien, and for today's writing lesson, we're going to be looking at writing a letter to our friend. So let's review the parts of a friendly letter. We have the date, the greeting, the body, the closing, and the signature. So when we are writing our letter to our friend today, let's take a look at how we're going to fill these parts in. For the date, you're going to put the date that you write the letter to your friend. I have May 6th, 2020. For the greeting, you're going to put the name of the person you're writing the letter to. So I wrote my letter to Miss Minier, so I say, Dear Miss Minier. And notice that I've capitalized Dear, and I've capitalized Mrs. Minier's name, and I've put my comma right here after my greeting. The body of the letter is going to have three things this time when we write it. And the first thing we're going to put is an update. So we're going to say, Hi, Mrs. Minier, how are you? And then we're going to give her a quick update on how we are doing. The next thing that we're going to add to the body of our letter is a story. This can be any story that you want to share with a friend that you're writing a letter to. And then the last thing we're going to put in there is a question. So you're going to finish your letter up by asking a question, something you would like to know about from your friend. And then we're going to put our closing in. And for this closing, I put your friend. Notice my comma there. And then I put my name, Mrs. O'Brien. So let's take a look at an example letter that I wrote to Mrs. Minier. So you can see at the top we have our date, May 6th, 2020, and then our greeting, Dear Mrs. Minier, with my comma at the end. And then my first paragraph of the body of my letter is the update. So this is where I'm going to say, Hello, I miss seeing you at school, and I hope that you are doing well. My family and I have been enjoying playing board games, watching movies, and telling stories. So notice that I didn't just start by saying my family and I have been enjoying. I started by saying hello and just asking how she's doing. So sort of like you're having a conversation with a person. You don't start in the middle of the conversation. You greet them first. And then our next paragraph is where we're going to tell our story. So this is the story that I chose to share with Miss Minier. Last week, I went for a run on a beautiful wooded trail. The sun was shining and the birds were singing. I was having such a good time. But at the end of my run, I tripped on a root and fell. Luckily, I did not have a serious injury, but I scraped my hands, elbows, and knees, and it hurt a lot. The next day, I felt better, so I went running again. So let's take a look at that paragraph where we have our story. And we'll notice that I added some details. First, I started by telling her what the story is going to be about. I went for a run on a beautiful wooded trail. I'm adding those descriptive words to help paint a picture for Miss Minier so she can get an idea of what I was doing. And then I add a little bit more details. The sun was shining, the birds were singing. It sounds really great, doesn't it? It was a great trail run. I was having such a good time. I'm telling her how I'm feeling. And then I get to what really happened at the end, and that's where I fell. And notice that you'll see something in here that we've been talking about for a little while, and that is how we can change the size of our letters to really emphasize something. I wanted to emphasize how much that hurt. All right, last paragraph. This is where I am going to ask Miss Minier a question. And I'm asking her a question because Miss Minier is going to send me a letter, and she's hopefully going to answer that for me. We'll be looking at that in our responses for our next lesson. So, going running in the sunshine is one of my favorite things to do right now. I would love to know how you have been spending your time. What is one of your favorite things to do? So if we'll just look up here, I said the next day I felt better, so I went running. And then this whole first sentence, we talk about our transition words. This whole sentence is like a transition sentence. I talked about running up here, and then here I tell her it's one of my favorite things to do right now. Your letter may work like that, it may not, but I wanted to point that out to you. And then I end with my question. And then at the very end of my letter, I just wanted to add a little bit more, like a little bit of an extra closing. So I say, I hope that you have a great day, and I look forward to reading your letter. Your friend, here's my closing, with a comma, and my name, Mrs. O'Brien. So for today's lesson, you guys are going to be writing a letter to your friend. You can print out this paper if you want to write on this paper, or you can write on notebook paper, or if you have special pretty paper that you'd like to use, that's okay, because we are going to be actually putting these letters into an envelope and mailing them to your friends. So how exciting that you guys are going to be sharing letters with a friend, and you'll get one from them and then you'll respond. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy writing your letters. If you have any questions, then reach out to your teacher. Thank you.